squat and what a lot of people get wrong about it. I see it all the time. I know you guys see it all the time too. So I'm a power lifter and I do a power squat, a version of a power squat. Now what I see in the gym most of the time is people set up with a bar very high up on their neck. A lot of times their arms are very far away from their shoulders, and that's just setting you up for failure. A lot of people bend at the knees first, a lot of people wear horrible shoes. So I'm going to try to describe how I set up in my squat. And it's not comfortable, none of this is comfortable. It's not easy, it takes getting used to. But when I approach the bar, I'm 5'3" and a half, 171 pounds right now. I go with my ring finger right here on the rings. And what you want to think about doing is you want to think about rotating under the bar like this. See what's happening with my shoulder? Anytime the bar's up high, it's going to cause you to be forward. You don't want to be forward in the squat. You want to be underneath the bar. Okay? So I get my hands positioned right. I'm under the bar rotating. I have the bar set relatively low, right about here. And that's pretty much my setup. Now, the first thing I want to explain to you once you do your setup, you walk out. I have a fairly wide stance, and we'll show that later in the film. Most people I tell to start off with slightly wider than shoulder width, and you always want to point your toes outward. I'm going to say between like 25 and 35 degrees, maybe, something like that. The first thing you do is you're going to sit back. I'm going to demonstrate a squat and how I perform it. Nice strong walk out, keeping everything tight, and I'm pushing into the bar. I'm going to sit back, push into the bar. That's pretty much my squat. Now, I push into the bar with my back, and I tell everybody to do that. It's a very hard concept to get. Another thing where most people get it wrong is out of the hole. They drive with just their legs. You really need to push into that bar with your back, not hyperextending or anything like that, not rounding over, just keeping yourself tight. You also have to have the bar a little forward because you're sitting back, so your torso is going to be in this position. You want to feel the weight right in the center of your foot. I don't know if you can see that, but you want to right about here. So, and when you watch people squat, a lot of times you can tell if they're forward just by looking at their feet. If you see their feet, pressure coming forward, they're obviously forward. It's very difficult to be too far behind. Another thing about the low bar is people tell me, well, they're afraid it's going to fall off their back. I've never had that happen personally, and I've never seen it happen. I'm sure it's possible, but once you learn where to place the bar, you'll be fine. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time. I've been lifting weights for 30 years, and it's taken me a long time to figure this stuff out. So let me do another squat. I want to see from the back. You can see the width of my feet and everything. And we'll do another one. Same setup. So in case you want to know what it looks like from the back, I guess that's what it looks like. As far as keeping the head up and looking up, when I was younger, that's what I was taught. And I always thought it was a good idea because you think it initiates, it makes you drive and push into the bar. But over the past several years, I've seen a lot of lifters keep their head down, and I've done that a lot. And it seems to work pretty well. So that's a preference, but I think that's more of something advanced that you want to do if you're just a beginner. I don't think you want to start doing that. Anyway, the guy that's filming, his name
What
is
up?
Joey. Joey Chichia, right? He's a very good trainer here at Ocean State Gym. And if he has any questions for me at any time, he's going to ask.
I will.
Okay. But the points I really want to make is the setup. So a lot of people are lifting inefficiently and they're not getting the power through the bar. So with just the power they have, they can actually move more weight than they're doing now if they get their lifts more efficient. It's very difficult to do, but I always thought of it this way. You don't fail in the squat because of your leg strength. It's never your leg strength. It's usually the weakest link, which is in almost every single person on the planet is going to be the lower back. Things to strengthen that, that helped me a lot. The squat good morning. And basically, I'll do a squat good morning. Alright, go on the side. I'll show a squat good morning. I'll try to explain it real quick. It's the same setup as the squat, my version of it. It's the same setup as the squat. You start sitting back till you get to about this point, and then you're going to bend forward a little more. You're putting yourself in a horrible position, but that's what you want. Because when you squat with heavy weight and you start coming up and you pop with your hips, because you're driving too much with your legs and not into the bar, which happens, your form breaks down when you get heavy. And then hopefully you'll be able to pull yourself and push yourself out of that position. So I'll just do a quick squat good morning the way I like to do it. Same setup, same stance, same thing. I'm going to start by sitting back and right about here, come forward. I'm in a horrible position. The bar is over my toes, which you don't want. And then you come up with it. So start off with light weight.
And this is to teach the fight against the hips coming out from the bottom if you're not pushing into the bar.
Yeah, that's good. That's another thing I wanted to bring up, the hips. A lot of your lifting is done with your hips, right? I mean, your quads, if you're an Olympic lifter, do front squats, do back squats with a high bar, that's fine. If you're a bodybuilder, you want to overdevelop your quads, that's fine. If you want to move as much weight as possible, you got to use the strongest muscle groups, which is right here, all this area. Another thing I wanted to point out, my experience, is that I see a lot of people do the wrong thing. They copy it from people who are strong, but not necessarily doing the movement correctly. In other words, if you see a big 300-pound guy and he's lifting a lot of weight, that's great, he's strong, absolutely. But most of those guys are not as flexible and they have the bar higher up and they have their arms out here. Just because they're doing it and they're moving a lot of weight doesn't mean you should. Somebody small like me, I need to take my leverage into play and I need to think about how to move that weight more efficiently. So, I don't know, I mean that's about it. That's basically what I wanted to talk about. I hope this can help someone out there.
So, what's the experience? What are you doing with your muscles when you're underneath the bar? Like, what's the internal experience going on as you're pressing up against the bar? I mean, you talked about the good morning squat extension to kind of help with the hip hop and kind of various little biomechanical tweaks and stuff like that. But like, what's it like? What are you squeezing? What are you feeling? You know, what are you focused on in it?
That's something good. I didn't bring that up. Okay, I call this internal pressure. That's my terminology, I don't know. So, when I'm setting up in the squat and I get tight, I lock in like this, my back is tight, my back's not going to round over, it's horrible. I take a breath, that's one thing I didn't mention, which I should have. When I set up, I take a breath at the top. Everything's tight now. This is tight, everything's tight. I sit back, I keep my air the whole time. There's a lot of pressure on your body, a lot of pressure on your face. That's normal, it's not comfortable. I don't know if that answers your question, but yes, it's your hips. You want to feel it, you don't want to feel it in your quads. The way I set up with a wide stance, it allows me to get my body through, interact more muscles. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I'm using more muscles that way. Another thing, seen people grab the bar like this, which I do, and I've also seen people do thumbless. I do thumbless too sometimes, that's fine, as long as you're locked in. I just always found that I can hold that position better because I'm squeezing. I can squeeze like this instead of like this. I get a better pump, and really you want to activate every single muscle in your body when you're performing a squat or deadlift.
There's no loose lifts.
Loose lifts, is that what you're saying? Yes,
Yeah.
you have to stay tight the whole time.
Yep.
The whole time. It's something you just get used to. And eventually you start popping blood vessels in your face and sometimes in your eyeballs, but you know. So I don't know.
What's the all right? What's the easiest way to squat 300 pounds?
It's the easiest to have someone else do it.
Good. I was gonna say squat 400 first.
Squat 400, all right.
And then go backwards.
Yeah, I think this is good. Thank you, Joe.
Not a problem. All right, guys, that was it. Enjoy.